Hello everyone, I'm Prakriti P, a first year computer science engineering student studying in Sri Venkateshwara College of Engineering, and today I'm here to explain how to search an element in an array in the subject principles of programming using C. So today I'll be speaking about the topics what is an array, its syntax, types of array, its examples, how to initialize, declare and create an array, how to access loop through an array, and how to set array size, and the main topic which is searching an element in an array. So let's get into what is the meaning of an array. Arrays are basically used to store data. Arrays can be used to store multiple values in a single variable instead of declaring separate variables for each and every value. One of its example is storing 100 people's name in a single array, which is string type. Not more than 100 people's name can be stored in such type of array. Its syntax is string square bracket array is equals to new string 100, uh, as we can see in the slide. So let's get into syntax of an array. Syntax of an array is basically simple. First, we have to create an array, and then it's accessing an array. We can see an example here, which is double square bracket values is equals to new double open bracket 10. Here, type of the array variable is double, and name of the array variable is values, and new double is the uh, it's the array element type, and 10 is its length. We must always remember that each and every element in an array has its index or position number. So always the index number or position number starts with 0 until the nth number. So, types of arrays, there are mainly two types of arrays, which is single dimensional array and multi-dimensional array. So, the first one is single dimensional array, which is also a simplest form of an array, which the elements are stored linearly, and it can be accessed individually by specifying the index number. It contains a series of elements of same data type, and the elements are zero index, meaning that the first element position is index is 0, and the last element is according to the array size. And here it's an example of single dimensional array. Here int numbers is equals to 5, which is the size of the array, which is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Here the first element of the array, we can print the first element of the array, and the number is in 0. Here 0 position it's 10, and the third element of the array is number 2, which means the 10 is at 0th position, so 20 is at first position, and 30 is the number which is required, which is at the second position according to the index number. So the next type of array is multi-dimensional array. This multi-dimensional array is basically arrays of arrays. It can be referred as arrays of arrays, and because it has many number of dimensions, it can store the data in tabular form, which means it has number of rows and columns. So here it's an example. We can code and declare and initialize an array of two dimensional of integers with 2 rows and 3 columns. Here int my array 2 and 3 is given, which means that there are 2 rows and 3 columns where the elements is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How to initialize, declare, and create an array. So here there is long form, short form, and initializing declaration. Here long form is double array which is declaration, and a is equals to new create double. Here it's the creation of the array, and also for loop is used, and then it's initialization where a square bracket I is equals to zero point 0, and this could be written in a short form, which is double square bracket equal a is equals to new double a n in the square bracket. And initializing declaration is that we give elements, we declare the elements or initialize the elements to the array. Here it's array A is holding 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean 3, 5, 8. These are the elements the array A is holding. So now, how to create an array? So first, we to create an array, first we have to define its data type like int, string, double, etc. And also we can use a square bracket and insert the value into it, and also separate it by using separated comma separated list. It also includes curly brackets and curly braces. And here it's an example int my numbers square bracket is equal to curly bracket 20, 50, 75, 100, etc. Now we have created the variable that holds an array of four integers. So now it's how to access an array. So we can access the array elements in an array. So to access an array elements, first we have to refer to its index number, which always starts with 0, the first element, then the second element. The statement accesses the value of the first element. For example, it's int the same example as we saw in the last slide, which is int my numbers is it's holding elements, which is 25, 50, 75, and 100. So we print the number my number at 0, which is 25. So the output will also be 25. And the next topic is loop through an array. We can also loop through an array elements with the for loop. Basically, for loop is used in an array, and for example, in the same example, if we take int my numbers is equals to 25, the elements is 25, 50, 75, and 100. So int I, and then for loop is used here. I is holding the value 0. So here I is less than 0 is basically less than 4. So the number 25 will get printed, and then again it goes back, and the value of I gets incremented, so it becomes 1. 1 is again less than 4, so it enters the loop and then prints 50. So again it gets incremented, and then it prints 75, because 2 is less than 4. And then again after printing 75, it gets incremented, and then it prints 100. So 3 because 3 is less than 4. And then when the I value becomes 4, which is the loop value fails, because 4 is not less than 4, it is equal to 4, then it comes out of the loop. So now we'll see how to set an array size. It's an another common way to create arrays is specify the size of an array by adding. We can add the elements later to it. So first we have to declare an array of. For example, we declare a array of four integers. Int my numbers is 4. So add the elements by my number 0, 1, 2, 3, which is 25, 50, 75, and 100. So this is how we declare an array size. So the main topic, which is searching an element in an array, as we can see, we can use we can write a C program to input the elements, and in an array we can search an element in an array. If the element is exists or not, we can get to know that by using an array. Uh, So here it's an example. First we input the size of an array, which is 10. Here we are taking 10 input elements in an array, which is 10, 12, 20, 25, 13, 10, 9, 40, and 60, and 5. So output is that we have to search the number 25. So 25 is found in the position index 3. So the element is found. So here is an example program where we first enter an array size. after entering the array size, we enter the elements using for loop, and then we also use for loop, then enter and we print and enter the element which has to be searched, and then again we after the element is searched, the index number or the position of the element is found. If the loop fails, the for loop fails, or if the element is not found, it gets printed that the element is not found. So here is the output. The search, the array size is 5. So we are taking 5 elements, which is 34, 66, 22, 90, and 89. So we have to, here we are gonna search the element 66, and the element 66 can be found in the position 2, which is its index number. Because 0 is 34, index number 0 it's 34, 1 is 66. So its index number is 66 and its position is 2. So we can now conclude that arrays are basically very useful for searching an element, and also helps us to store the data elements for the same data type. It helps us to maintain multiple variable names for single name, and it can be used for sorting data elements. It can be used for performing matrix operations, CPU scheduling, and one of the basic operations to be performed on an array is searching an element in an array, which means to find a particular element in an array. The search can be used to return the position of an element and check if the element exists in an array or not. And also that the function of searching an element in an array is that the index of method, it returns the first index of which given element can be found in an array, or it returns -1 if the element does not exist in an array. So all these uses can be used in an array. And this is how I end my presentation. Thank you so much for watching.